It is day 110 of 365 days of remembering. And I am out walking in nature, and I was just coming up to the end of my walk, and I remembered that I wanted to go over and check out this stone design that looks like a labyrinth that I found yesterday. So I'm going to pause, flip the camera around, and take a little picture of what I can see from the path, and then let's go walk the labyrinth together. And I will share a little bit about what that means for me and why it's significant. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it, but I just happened to catch yesterday out of the corner of my eye all those rocks, and look at that. Someone has taken the time to put them together. I'm going to walk a little bit closer into the design of a labyrinth. So it will be hard for me to sort of show it to you while I walk it, but I'm going to go walk it and we can walk it together. Hi, Trina, right back again. And I'm hoping that the video looks pretty seamless to you. It's going to take my editing genius to come out and do that. But so I'm by the labyrinth, and there is a little starting point, and I just want to share a couple things. I want to say that for me, for a little while now, I've had this really epic relationship with labyrinths. I see them as walking, as if we are walking inward to our true self, to our true essence, as sort of this physicalized representation of that in such a cool, huge way. My hair is having fun dancing with me. I'm just gonna let it dance because that's what it wants to do. There's a really nice wind on my face that feels really cool. And of course, lots of sunshine. So as I was saying, it always has represented that, and this sort of like the movement from the outer world to the inner world in a concrete way, and like as if it's representative of the breath. Like sometimes it can feel like the side of the breath that is contracted represents the physical, the part where we're like out here engaging and discovering and being more dense and more like engaged, I guess. And then we can go home to ourselves and still be engaged, but it's an inward engagement into the inner depth of our beingness, our soul, our inner being. So I like to see it as like a little journey home to myself and home to my inner being. So I'm going to, I don't know how to do it. I'm going to try to show you as I walk, but I'm not really thinking I can do that much. But there's the rocks there that form the little pathway. So I'm just going to keep walking along it. Just breathe with me and just imagine that you are also taking this journey to and with yourself. It's good as you walk it to just be in a really quiet, centered heart space of just feeling that opening, feeling that space of allowing yourself to tune in to your own inner landscape and walk your way home, so to speak. So I'm just going to be quiet and tune in to that experience. Looking down so that I make sure I don't trip on a rock and I stay on the path. Feel myself being called more and more to my center as I walk, and here I am at the center. Just being able to sit in this deep appreciation of myself, and just to stand here and just feel the resonance with my soul, the presence of my inner being, that unwavering, infinite, present well-being that just is. It's just here. It's just always here. And this shift in perspective that takes me from the feeling of being a person with a soul to just a soul watching a person having an experience. It doesn't get any better than this. feeling like you're at home with yourself, right here dancing with my inner being, the sun on my face. Just enjoy this moment of feeling like everything is perfect and right in my world, and grounding myself in the knowing that that's my power. That's my power of choice, my power of choosing, my power of knowing that I'm a spiritually conscious being means that I accept that I create my own reality. I accept that I imagine it and breathe it into being. And as I stand in the representation of that out breath of expansion, of that in breath of contraction, and I just see the beauty of it all. One's not better than the other. They're just the seamless flow of beingness. And I can watch it from the soul space, hanging on to my inner being, being wrapped in love, unconditional, pure love with my inner being. And this is what soul sourcing, this is what sourcing feels like, resourcing myself from the only true place that I could ever resource myself from. And I think for fun now, I'm at the center. I'm going to turn the camera around again, and I'm going to show you, and I'm going to walk out so that you can see the ground and pretend you're walking out of the labyrinth with me. We take this centered space, this beautiful experience of just less than 5 minutes deciding I'm going to come home to myself. I'm going to make that my focus amidst whatever's going on. Look at out there. There's lots of traffic going by. But I feel the sun on my face and the connection with my full self. I feel at home. And I feel so, so incredibly blessed that I chose to come here to have this experience and to be in appreciation of everything, to just love every single thing and love every moment. I am like drunk on the experience of being alive, drunk on the experience of being a soul, having the privilege of seeing this three-dimensional occurrence, this being in this illusion, in this game. So milk that. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and walk out, back out with you with the intention of holding this, not from a clinging, not from a space that there's anything to do, because it's always here. We have access to this all the time. It's exactly how we were born. It's our true sense of well-being. And just see as we walk out, it integrating, stabilizing, and we become embodied in that feeling. So let's do that together. I'm back. So this is the view in front of me, and I'm just going to show you that this is the view. I'm going to step back a bit of the inner part of the labyrinth, and clearly this was something that was just built by some people having some fun. So isn't that cool? There's a pretty little flower there and some other little tokens. And now I'm going to try to hold it in a way you can see my shadow, but that we're going to walk along this path together. And what is it going to be? It's going to be the path of embodiment, the path of knowing who I am and living from that place, from that center. Feeling connected to the heart, feeling like our inner being, look at these pretty flowers, lots of cool pretty flowers, is walking this path with us. And what's so cool is our inner being is always walking right there with us. That's what self-sourcing means, is that we know that our inner being is just always right there with us, walking with us, loving us. Oh, I'm going to do this little jaunt of a turn here, holding hands with us. I've even played with the idea of making love to my inner being as the truest expression of source, which sounds like it's of a certain nature, but it's not. And at some point I'll do a video on that and share it. And here we come to the back to the beginning, or the end, however you want to look at it, to the labyrinth, with that clear feeling of just being here, being present, being alive. So I just wanted to say thank you for walking the labyrinth with me. Thank you for taking this few minutes to enjoy coming home to yourself in a visceral kind of way. And I just want to say how incredible of a manifestation it was for me yesterday that I lined up with this, that I imagined it into being. And there was this, I think you could probably see it back. Oh, you can't see it back there, but you might be able to see it behind me. This beautiful, magical labyrinth that I could go play in and share with you. So thank you. And it just goes to show you how easy it is to decide that we're just going to find the best in everything and then let the universe surprise and delight us. It's one of my favorite things when things like that happen. The tiniest little thing. I mean, it wasn't that tiny because someone did put the energy into building that. But what's funny is I've walked by here before and don't remember seeing it. So I'm curious to know if it was even there, if it just showed up just for me. And I love playing in that. Play in that. Know your infinite beingness enough to know that that is possible. Something that wasn't there could just be magically there because you created it into being, because you imagined it into being. Maybe not specifically, maybe not exactly, but by tuning into a feeling of your infinite beingness and of knowing who you are and of trusting the universe and saying, I want to play with you. And I love it when you inspire delight and surprise me. You just never know what's going to take you next. So if you liked this video and this little fun where we sort of had this little nature walk together, then give me the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to my channel, because when flow comes, you just never know what kind of journey we're going to go on. And go out there in whatever way you can with the conditions the way they are. Don't let that stand in your way, in the sense of you can connect with yourself in your backyard. You can connect with yourself just down the street on the trail where you live. You can connect with yourself by looking in the mirror and just being present. I practice this little activity that I'll just share with you, where I turn this camera on and I have it on my phone and I flip it to the mode it's on right now, which is the mode that I record myself. So it's selfie mode, I guess is what they call it. And I just spend time staring into my own eyes and just like being like almost in a meditative state where I just fully see myself. Because you can see your image. I think over here is where I look to see you directly in the eyes, and over here is where I see myself, and so they're a little off. But if you spend the time, it's incredible. You can see yourself and you can look into your own eyes, and it's a powerful little experiment to do with yourself. So go outside, discover what the universe has to delight and inspire you. Look in your own eyes, do whatever it takes to find a way to not only vibe out, but to live the embodiment of who you really are. And I'll see you tomorrow.